How do you feel about NatB being back?
I think it's great. NatB is about connections and buyers and sellers, and we all missed the in-person NatB in Miami last year, so I think this strategy sort of going forward made sense to have a whole bunch of independent events, and everyone seems to be eating it up until we have NatB next year in January.
I just saw the panel that you did with Jeff Sangansky. Tell us about that.
Well, Jeff, has been around for many years on many sides of the business. He's on the production side. He obviously ran CBS. He was at NBC, and now he's an entrepreneur. And so it was what we decided to do was to sort of do a little tutorial of 10 minutes of where the business was and where it's going. And not that many people have an idea where it's going, so it's always good to sort of have that discussion. And clearly, a couple of the things that came up were the pressure on costs and cost reduction as we see what's been happening with the streamers who have been spending billions of dollars a year on content. And for us in the production business, where we do probably most of what we do right now is in the unscripted space, whether it's docs like Prepping Murder or the Epstein doc, or the show that we're doing in Long Island, Serving the Hamptons, which is sort of our version of a Below Deck. It's a great time to be in the business, but at the same time, it's tough to hold on to rights, and it's tough to sort of demand your own future in terms of what was going on in the older days where you had back end. So the question is, will that continue or will it not continue? But certainly it's a good time to be in the production business. So I started in the industry right after business school. I was in the startup of MTV, don't tell anyone, in 1980. And I was at MTV for about a decade, which was wonderful and a great experience. And then I started New Line Cinema's television company. And after that, I took over, I became co-chairman of the film division. And then we got bought by AOL at Time Warner after a few mergers. And I went over to AOL as president at AOL. And then about 6 years ago, in between that, I was at Radical Media, which we sold to Fremantle. About 6 years ago, Jeff had approached me to take over some of his companies, and I really didn't want to do that at the time. He said, well, why don't you start your own company? And it's great being an entrepreneur. We've been, knock on wood, very successful at Bungalow. Jeff's an investor. I think my timing was impeccable. It's a great time to be in the production side. The demand or the appetite for content is just incredible right now. So it's been fun. It's a little tiring, but it's been fun.
And your logo is cute. It's always important to have a good logo. I saw your bling, you had a bag that had like an embroidered bungalow on it, and I was like, I want one of those.
Well, there's a little story on that Bungalow logo. So when we were bought by Warner's and I was at New Line, all I ever wanted was one of the bungalows on the lot. The problem with producing on the lot, well, there were a bunch of problems, mostly cost-based. So we never could get the bungalow when I was at New Line, and even though New Line was here and in New York. So at some point about 10 years ago, I bought the rights to the name Bungalow Media and Entertainment as a little bit of a wink to the fact that we couldn't get a bungalow then, but we have one now. So it's sort of a funny thing. But
Continued success to you.
Oh, thank you. And it's great to see you again.
Thank you. And we're going to have fun. Today we're here on June 1st at the W Hotel. Tomorrow are the Brandon Tartikoff Awards. What does that mean to you, the Brandon Tartikoff Awards?
When I grew up in the business, we were in the cable business in 1980, and there weren't that many people who gave us a lot of respect, though the financial model made sense. It was part ad sales, advertising, and it was part subscription. One of the people that really gave us a time of the day, or two of the people I should say, was Brandon and Jeff. They were at CBS at the time, and I still remember Brandon coming into the office and saying, I want to do this show, and it's called MTV Cops. You know what that show was? Miami Vice. I've been in the business. That's all I've ever done. It's a great business to be in. You can make some money and have a great time doing it.
We absolutely do have a great time, and we hope you enjoyed our visit. Stay tuned. There's more coming up.